Hey, what's up, Blazer fans? Welcome to We Have a Take the What podcast. I am Tara Bowen Biggs, joined as always by Rose Harding. Hello, Rose.
Hello, hi Tara. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. I noticed that in one of our recent posts asking for questions, you said, "Hey, takers." So, hey, takers, how's the taker community doing? Maybe
We're
it'll
trying
work.
it on. We're seeing if it fits.
Yeah, we got some great questions in from takers. But we have some important stuff on the roster today. Today's the day that we've planned on talking about the What Awards. So I think we should just get straight into the What Awards and which ones we want to offer this year, especially because, if it so happens that the Blazers all gather around and listen together, like in the locker room, to what awards are going to be up for honors this year, let's get it over with. So if they can get back to practice, knowing what they're going to be playing for this year.
I love it. Also, I'm excited to know what I'm looking for so that I can start adding things to my Instagram, saves, and so I can look back on them at the end of the year, but I don't know what to be saving because we haven't talked about the awards yet.
All right, well let's dive in. I'm going to start with a very thrilling announcement that we are bringing back beloved most valuable pet because we have so many pets this year that we could not do it.
I know. It feels like a gold rush of pets, specifically dogs
Yeah.
right now. But a gold rush of pets are just flowing at us, and we've got, at least one or two pet Instagram accounts. I don't know, what more can we ask for?
Yeah, and I think that if someone was interested in this award, if their pet had their own Instagram account, that's probably gonna take them pretty far. If their pets are featured in their social media, that's definitely gonna be a boon. Or, bringing them to the arena, talking about them during their interviews, bringing them up. All of these things will help elevate your pet's status for the coveted Most Valuable Pet Award, our version of the MVP.
That's right. I think that it's high time we bring this award back because we now have pets. They've already made appearances. Donovan brought his dog on Halloween. I couldn't be more thrilled because I also got a dog this year, and I just see our dogs is r around the same age, and I don't know. I'm
How
ready for all the dog
how
pictures.
is your new dog doing? I didn't even ask. How's the puppy?
Oh my gosh, she's fine. I
Making a
mean,
mark on the family.
yes, she has a lot of accidents. She likes to eat dirt and wood. And you just kind of forget how they're like little babies, like puppies are just like babies and they eat and they sleep and they pee and they poop. And that's most of what they do. And in between they play a little bit. But my older dog is putting up with her, which is great. They'll snuggle together sometimes, but even that exuberant puppy energy is not always the most welcome thing for my 10-year-old golden retriever.
Well, I'm glad things are going well. That is that's great. And yeah, you especially have your eye on golden retriever content. Um, who
That's right.
who was the NBA star? Can you remember? We just had in the group chat that we shared the NBA star who gave an interview and then actually called his dog up to the podium. Blazers, if you're listening, this
Oh,
will go very far.
it was Andre Drummond.
Yes. And he
Because he
had
had
it,
a dog named Bob Marley.
and it was a doodle of some
It
kind,
looked
right?
like a border collie poodle mix or something like that. It had that black and white look, but it also had that curly shag thing that poodles have. But I remember him calling it up. He's like, "Oh, my dog Bob Marley is here." And then he was like my real dog because he wanted to make it clear that he wasn't referring to a person.
Yeah. Like we've
And then
seen
he
that.
called up
What
and he said,
happens with that?
he was like, "Hey, Bobby," and he called his dog, and I was like, I was on pins and needles waiting to see what kind of dog Bobby was, and I was excited to see that he was a little shaggy doodle thing.
Well, we are excited. Like, so off the top of my head, Shaden seems to have a dog that his girlfriend posts about. Donovan definitely has a dog. Kris has two dogs. Jeremy has a couple of dogs. Drew, I think, has a couple of dogs. And that's just off the top of my head. So doing more digging, we might even uncover more animals. I would also say if a player was especially interested in their pet winning this award, a pet that's not a dog would probably get a lot of attention. I'm not saying necessarily going to win, but would probably garner a lot of attention if someone had, say, a cat or lizards, iguanas, goldfish, maybe a fish collection. So we're open to all pets. This is not just for dogs. It just right now there's a lot of dogs, but if you had a unique pet, that might make them stand out a little bit if you're going for this award.
Yeah, it's like bringing a savory pie to a pie competition, you know? There's going to be like 90 sweet pies and maybe only like 10 savory, and it stands out a little bit more. So, like Rob's snakes. No, Robert
Yeah.
Covington. Yeah, he
Yeah.
had snakes.
Yeah. Yeah. He had snakes. Hassan Whiteside had fish. Remember that?
Vaguely.
Yeah. Yeah, we put
Vaguely.
a lot of us put most of that out of our minds. Okay, so most valuable pet is will once again be awarded. Um, I'm not going in any particular order.
Hmm.
The one that we're definitely bringing back is most valuable blazer. And in the past, we've thought about this with a very open mind. I believe the
Hmm.
Rip City remix won it the first year. So, most valuable blazer, we are very open to blazers doing things that make them the most valuable to the team.
We've given it twice now, and I think the first time it was the Rip City remix, and then last year it was Denny.
Hmm. Yeah.
But it could be anyone. You never know. And it doesn't necessarily mean on the floor.
Hmm.
Valuable to the team culture, in game, out of game, all that stuff I think matters.
Yeah, we have a very open mind as what we mean by valuable. So I'm can't wait to see how the year plays out in this one. All right, most valuable pet, most valuable blazer. We're also going to be doing most improved blazer. Again, I believe we did that last year. Did we do that last year? Oh, I
We
can't remember off the
did.
top of my head.
We
Okay.
did, I think. I can't remember who won it. I might have been Tumani, but I'm not totally sure.
It's it's one that we like right now because we have so many young players.
Hmm.
I guess it would still be interesting with older players, but since this team has been in development mode and we have been on the development express, identifying the players who do show the most development, um, are on our minds. So we've got most improved blazer. Um, we are thinking about making a slight tweak to our favorite bench celebrator man of the year. We've discussed every year how hard it is to track that one. And so this year we're gonna try something new and we're just gonna go with celebrator man of the year.
Yeah, I like that change because I think there's a lot of celebration that happens and like that aren't on isn't on the bench. Like like the guys that come up after like Denny gets the and one and they want to hype him up and whatever. Like that's celebrating. You're in the game, but it should not count because you're in the game. And I think that we talked about like what it could it be like hype man of the year, energy man of the year, but keeping in the like same mode as a bench celebrator man, we can just remove that bench and be like anywhere you're celebrating your team and making it like a joyful thing that counts.
Yeah. And I have to say, I have seen a lot of activity on the bench this year, partly because the play has been, for, in many ways, the play has been worth celebrating in ways that maybe it was more like we just got to get through this game in the past couple of
Hmm.
years. And I was like, oh, that was amazing. Like Shaden's been like unleashing some like fantastic dunks. There have been some great, like, they even had an outlet pass themselves the other night. Oh my God, that's another thing. We're gonna have to do a whole episode about things that are killing me. But other teams doing outlet passes is definitely one of them. However, I gained a few more, added a few more days onto the end of my life when the Blazers themselves actually completed an outlet pass. I can't remember what game it was, but I was like, oh, thank God.
I saw a bounce pass turnover the other day and I was like, is Tara alive? I should do a welfare check.
Yeah. In the past. Like when I used to love bounce passes, like those little in between the in the little tiny pocket area, little bounce pass. I
Hmm.
used to love that, but that was when the team was very seasoned and had guys that reliably knew usually Damian Lillard, who knew exactly where the person receiving the pass wanted it.
Hmm.
And there's still a lot of getting used to each other, a lot of, when Scoot is on, he's still getting used to, when he comes back, he's still getting used to how people want the ball. Drew is still getting used to how people want the ball. So in these situations, those bounce passes are killing me because they're not there yet. They're not in tune the way that they were when, Damien was doing it to like Mo Harkless or whatever.
I was watching I forget, was it the last game? I must have been the Houston game. Where I could see, I think, Denny trying to build that lob chemistry with Rob. He like couldn't quite get him at the right spot in the right way or in rhythm. It was like, but they haven't played together that much, even though they were both on the team last season. It's just it wasn't quite there yet. And like that to me is also one of those things where I go because I'm like really excited for lobs,
Yeah.
but also it's like really horrifying when you miss.
Yeah, and when after every game, I read the entire game log to search for dunks, and during that last game, there were several missed opportunities that were missed alley-oops, and it's a reminder to us that like this team is not done. They are still
Mhm.
developing, they're still getting to know each other, and like the good news is that they're trying. Because what if they
Yeah.
weren't even trying that stuff? That would be super depressing. So I am heartened
Yes.
by the fact that they're trying.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I know that I watched them try and I'm like and I know they'll get there because Denny likes to lob guys and Rob likes to catch them. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna make it happen. It's
Yeah.
just that they need more time together because Rob played so little last season that like even though they were both here, I can't imagine that they had an opportunity to even start to build that chemistry yet.
Yeah. I love having Rob Williams for so many games. I like
I
don't want to
know.
like say it out loud or anything because I don't want to like jinx the situation. But it's so fun to watch him play.
Yes, agree. I've been like holding my breath a little bit and I'm like, have we fully realized you as a player? Are you still theoretical? And I'm a little bit nervous to like bump him in my mind past theoretical player because I'm like, because then they'll take him away from me. I just feel
Yeah.
like the injury gods will take him away.
Yeah, I'm still like just considering him like as bonus. Like all his minutes are just like bonus, like fun, bonus, super fun time
Yes.
that we can enjoy. Okay. The next award is one. So yearly, we always give a fashion award, and we're kind of stuck on, on what we're gonna award this year. Like in the past,
We
oh, go ahead.
I was saying like we've had several iterations on this. And I think some of it is driven by the fact that like there's a couple things, right? When the guys are young, they don't always have their own fashion thing figured out yet. They also aren't like on the big contracts yet where they can afford to like really invest in the fashion aspect of their game, like and I felt like for like several seasons we were seeing a lot of sweatsuits where I was like maybe we should just give sweatsuit of the year because we're not seeing a whole lot of fashion outside of sweatsuits. And don't get me wrong, love a sweatsuit. Some of them are really, really cool, but I like to see some hard pants here and there.
Yeah, yeah, and we went the route of the most improved, which I think that year was especially exciting that we did it because that was the year Jabari got a stylist. And,
Hmm.
he just really showed us what happens when you really want to focus on it. And so that was a good. So we're still like, do we want to just go fashion? Because, make it just an equal, simple, like, anybody can show up and be fashionable. I remember when we were doing our Drew research, he was interviewed, and maybe it was after he got signed his most recent contract. But at some point, somebody asked him basically, what is he going to do with all this money? And one of his answers was he was going to try to step it up fashion wise. So, like, I've seen some pretty good stuff from Drew, but I've also seen back to a lot of sweats.
Yeah. I also get it though, because I'm especially for guys who are new to this team this year, I'm like, you haven't done a Pacific Northwest winter yet.
Hmm.
Like, when it gets rainy, I totally get why people go back to the like cozy sweatsuits and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, Not everyone's gonna go out and get like fancy rain gear like Jeremy did.
Hmm. Hmm. So we are going to have a fashion award, but it's as yet undetermined, like what part of fashion. So
Yeah.
I would love to hear from takers who have some thoughts on a potential way to give the fashion award this year. If we should just go straight up most valuable fits, if we should return to one of our other uh alternates like accessorizer improvement, things like that. Let us know what you think if out there listening, if you have any ideas for the fashion award this year.
Yes, please. I still think that we should consider whether or not we should give best chain of the year. Just because I think that these guys like we have quite a few guys that like to wear chains, and Donovan even Donovan's got his little chain. But honestly it feels like a huge miss that Aiton isn't on this team with best chains, because oh my God, we were spoiled with DeAndre Ayton's chain collection.
That man knew how to wear diamonds.
That's right.
He knew how to wear diamonds. And I remember standing next to him one time just being like, wow, those diamonds are incredible.
Didn't you ask him to see it?
Yeah, yeah. It was when at a team thing, like it was like kind of partially like in his thing. It was like he definitely was wearing them out, but it was
Hmm.
like it was kind of tangled up in his thing. And so I asked him if he could see it, and he was happy to show them to me. And my eyes were sparkling. They were like, those are beautiful. I'm not around a lot of diamonds, if you can't tell.
I mean, he had beautiful, beautiful chains. Like he had like one that was like a link. It was like a link chain that was covered in diamonds, and it was
Mhm,
so sparkly. Like I've never been around that many diamonds ever.
mhm. Yeah. So definitely left an impression. So as yet to be determined, fashion award. So sorry, all the players who are gathered around someone's phone listening to this podcast who are like disappointed that they don't know what they're going for this year. I would also say if somebody starts doing something outrageously amazing in fashion, we will take notice and we will take that into consideration for whatever this word award turns out to be.
That's right. So players, feel free to get creative this year, and takers, please remember to point out whatever you see, and if you see something emerging, we want to know about it.
Absolutely. Okay, so the final one that we have been awarding in the past is the Blazer Legend, which I love giving that because it helps us like pay attention to what other Blazers are out there doing. Before we logged on, we were kind of tossing around the idea of a Blazer Cutie Award. And remember, our definition of a Blazer cutie is a former Blazer who's out there in the world, usually playing basketball, maybe still in the NBA, but maybe even somewhere in some other part of the world. Just a Blazer cutie who is here, could have been for a 10-day contract, could have been for years, but just somebody who left a positive impression and we're excited to follow out there in their post Blazer world. So we're considering a Blazer Cutie Award. Rose, you want to talk about your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I'll say Blazer Cutie feels like an earlier career award on their way to Blazer Legend status. Because Blazer Legend stuff is like, it's usually for somebody who either did something like really legendary for either the city or the team after their time here, or are like such a legendary part of our community that they're also doing something awesome. I'm thinking about like Brian Grant returning to the team this season. That maybe makes him Blazer Legend eligible. Terry Porter became a scout this year. That seems maybe some Blazer Legend material. And then also, we just have stuff like Josh Hart, who that we was inspired the creation of this award, just sticking up for our team and doing something that really the community either like wanted or needed or appreciated from them. Um, and like the cutie route is like someone who's continuing on their journey. Blazers were on their journey, but maybe they're like earlier mid-career. They're not quite like legend status yet. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like to me, a legend is like a kind of like a lifetime achievement award. Like you award it when you like you know it when you see it, and then you go, oh yeah, that's legendary. That's legendary. Blazer Cuties are Trendon and Watford getting a triple double the other night. Yay, that was
Hmm.
awesome. I just saw a video of Jake Lehman, who's playing in Japan, give an interview. Like he memorized some Japanese so that he could respond to his interview in Japanese, and like the crowd like loved it and went wild. And to me, that's like Blazer Cutie stuff. Like it's so like reminds us like why we liked them, why we were so happy for them, why we rooted for them, and even if they're not
Hmm.
still here, we're still cheering for them. Separate from like did something that was like so profound or important that like they get like a plaque. Like a Blazer Kitty Award would be like a ribbon, and then like a Blazer Legend would be like a plaque if we were giving out like tangible awards.
Or a giant rim from your storage, if
Yeah.
that's what your thing is.
Yeah, so I don't know if that makes sense to our takers who are listening. But so what I'm proposing, and I think Rose, I think you agreed, but correct me if I'm wrong, is that this year instead of like promising a Blazer Legend Award, we're actually going to have Blazer Cutie as a category for people who used to be Blazers doing fun things out there in the world. And if something happens, if somebody rises to the defense or does something like incredible that elevates the Blazer community, the team at large, then they might be awarded a Blazer Legend Award, kind of like a lifetime achievement award.
Yeah, I like that. And also it makes sense that there might not be a Blazer legend every year.
Hmm.
You know, that's it. There aren't that many former Blazers as far as like, the world. So like, and some of them aren't doing stuff that we know about or that we're going to hear about. So yeah, I think that makes perfect sense that we will give a Blazer Legend Award if something emerges,
Hmm.
and a Blazer Cutie Award this year.
I think Blazer Cutie could also be one really fun because we can crowdsource that. So like everybody who's listening, who's like a what listener, a taker, and you see things that are going on with former Blazers, send them to us, tag us, let us know what's going on because I think there's a lot, and I think it'll probably actually end up being hard for us to narrow down what our final nominees are going to be for Blazer Cuties because there are so many Blazer Cuties out there doing awesome things. Pat Connaughton is another one. For folks who haven't followed, so he got, did he get cut by the Bucks or traded? I think he got traded to the Hornets. That's right. He got traded to the Hornets. And when he got there, they were basically like, well, you're probably not going to be on the team. So, like, you don't need to go through training camp. And he was like, no, I'm going to go through training camp. And he ended up going through training camp and like earning a spot on his team. And so, when the coach announced to the players who had made the team, he's called out Pat Connaughton specifically for how hard he worked and how important he showed himself to be, even though he was told you don't really need to be there because we're gonna go a different direction. And Pat Connaughton showing up and playing so hard and being so important, like earned a spot on a team.
Yeah. That is definitely some Blazer Cutie material right there.
Okay, so recapping: most valuable pet, Celebrator Man of the Year, most valuable Blazer, Blazer Cutie, a fashion award as yet undetermined, and most improved Blazer.
Hmm. Yeah. I think that about covers it. And folks, feel free to weigh in. Let us know if you think you know the right fashion award for us, or if you're seeing Blazer Cutie stuff going on, or Blazer Legend stuff going on. Like, I think that these can all be a little bit fluid as we see like the season emerge. Because I definitely agree that like there's going to be far more opportunities to see Blazer Cutie stuff than Blazer Legend stuff. Blazer Legend stuff should be harder.
Mhm. Yeah, and a reminder what these awards are for is just to make it more fun, just to add more
Yes.
fun to our fandom and the experience of watching the Blazers. So,
And
go
it should be
Blazers!
positive. Like
Yeah,
we want this to be like a joyful aspect of watching the Blazers each year to look for all these wonderful things that make the game a little bit more fun.
absolutely. So I think that concludes the what award segment. So Blazers, if you want to pause The Blazer players, if you want to pause the thing right now and go have practice, go practice throwing lobs, go practice your bounce passes, go practice the outlet passes, and then you can come back and finish the rest of the podcast after you've done your reps.
Perfect. And in the meantime, we're going to get to some listener questions. I remembered to ask for them this week, which is great because I don't always remember, but we got some good questions for us to address today.
Great questions and great variety.
So the first one is from Jason. It's from Hecubus. Jason asks, if you got a tattoo of this season, what would it be?
Okay, that's a super hard one to start with.
Yes, and so this is the other thing that's different about you and I is you have a lot of tattoos. I have one.
Yeah.
Like it's not easy for me to think about choosing a tattoo because I've only ever chosen one and it was a mistake.
Oh, oh, do I want to hear more?
No, you don't really. It's just like I got it. I mean it's nothing special. I have a star on my back. I got it on spring break when
Right.
I was like 21. So but you have a lot more
Yeah.
tattoos and like the real estate aspect is real when I think about like what
Yeah.
what tattoo I would
You could
get.
get a whole back tattoo of like a shade and dunk,
Oh my God.
and you could
No.
incorporate the star. It could be like a quote unquote cover up, but he could be
Yeah.
like dunking the star.
That's so funny.
Or if
Yeah.
it's a small star, it could be like a little part of his little halo. It could be like a little halo of stars that he has because he's going to be an all-star someday, or because he is a star in our own hearts. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you should get a back tattoo of shade and dunking.
Okay. I'll consider it, I guess. No, I won't. I'm also a huge baby. And here's the thing is that like I can't get anything big because I can't sit for that period, like for a long period of time.
Mm,
Um,
not even for a Shaden back tattoo.
Probably not for a shade and back tattoo, although it is, I'll say, more enticing than some other things.
How about on your arm, you could get Rob Williams catching a lob
Mm,
because it would be long because he'd be like his arm all the way up. That would be fun to have a big, long somebody catching a lob on your arm. I
it's
have
true. I don't know
room
if I
on
have a
this
big
one.
enough arm for that. I
You can
don't know,
you can make
maybe.
it fit. So what I'm thinking
Yeah.
of is I want to get a what award tattoo. I don't know what,
Okay.
and I don't know any further what that means. I don't know if I want like a little picture of like a cup that just says like what award, or
A
if
ribbon.
or a ribbon, or I don't know. I just think if like if somehow it actually made it to a player that there is such a thing in this universe called the We Have a Take annual awards, and if we somehow found out that one of them knew something about that, like, oh, I think I am gonna see if my pet can win most valuable pet, or even just, hey, maybe my pet will win most valuable pet. If any sort of acknowledgement ever came from any blazer that the what awards exist, I would get like a little cup on a little, platform or whatever, and that just says what award or something like that.
That's great. I
So
love it.
help us make that happen.
Yes. That's a great question, Jason. Thank you for asking. Are you ready for the next question?
Yep.
Next question comes from the Tortured Florist Department, also known as Peyton PDX, also known as Jesse. Um, he asks, what's your hot or medium or mild take? One thing that doesn't belong on the Thanksgiving table and one thing that does.
Do you have any answers for either of those?
Yes. So I'll start because I've thought about this one long and hard. And I'll say like for me, like I don't like to yuck other people's yums really. Like you should eat whatever you want on Thanksgiving. If you eat something weird, like go for it. My dad always makes oysters. I don't know why he makes oysters, but he likes oysters. So like it's not my thing, but it can be your thing, and that's fine. In my house, nobody eats pumpkin pie, so we don't have pumpkin pie. And I know that's like a staple everywhere you go, but on my table, pumpkin pie does not exist. But I will say that there is one thing. that I see on other people's tables when I have gone to other people's houses for Thanksgiving that I go, ooh, no, thank you. And it's here's the reason why I feel a little bad because I'm like, if you like it, you should eat it. But also when I look at it, it looks disgusting, and looking at it hurts my feelings. And this
So
is
curious.
sweet potatoes with marshmallows on top.
Okay.
I think it looks gross. I don't really like either of those foods, so like that's part of it too. But like it just as like an aesthetic food, it looks not delicious. It looks like it like ruins my appetite to look at it, especially if it gets too like messed up on top. I'm like, this looks icky. So for me, it's that. That's what I don't want on the Thanksgiving table. Because I don't want to look at it.
I was so afraid I was going to have to defend cranberry sauce or gravy.
No, I love a
Two of
sauce, I
my
love a
favorites.
gravy. Oh my God. No, I love a soft, I love a gravy. And the other thing that I will say that definitely belongs on a Thanksgiving table that is not necessarily on everyone's table is I think mac and cheese.
Mhm.
My daughter loves mac and cheese, so I make mac and cheese each year, and I just think it's a really great like thing that not ever I think it might be a regional thing, but like not everybody does it.
Mhm. Yeah, we only started doing it like 10 years ago. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, we definitely do it. And I'm trying to think for us, um, I mean, I love everything about Thanksgiving food. I frequently have like three Thanksgivings or more if I can, because I
Mm.
happen to love turkey and I love mashed potatoes and gravy. Not a big fan of sweet potatoes. Um, but I love stuffing. I love stuffing so much. I most of my entire life I didn't eat stuffing, and then I realized how delicious it was, and I was corrected, and I now eat it. So I guess the one thing that I don't want on my Thanksgiving table, and again, I'm like you, like if somebody else likes it, that is like totally great for them. But the one thing that I am not a fond of and I don't really understand the purpose of is Brussels sprouts. And it's not like, ooh, they're gross. It's just like, why? Like, why not just have cabbage? Like, why have mini cabbages when you could just have cabbage? Because cabbage is good and you don't have to like individually prepare them. You can just whatever. And so my husband frequently brings home Brussels sprouts with the intention that he's going to do something with them and then they linger. And the thing about Brussels sprouts, it's great, is that they do last a very long time. They're not like an avocado, which is like one day they're ready and the next, or, next day they're like, you have to throw it out. But I always end up like kind of under the table giving them to my kids to take home and make them because they like Brussels sprouts. But I'm just like,
Mm.
we're not going to eat Brussels sprouts. So maybe that's one thing. I'm not a fan. But one thing that I love also is this is something my mom did is before Thanksgiving dinner, she always put out like bowls of olives. And I love having olives on Thanksgiving. I love olives anyway, but she always did
Oh,
that on Thanksgiving and I always like putting it on my fingers while I'm waiting for the real meal to come.
totally. And my parents used to put out like crackers in a cheese ball.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I love a cheese ball. Yum.
But like that, I only ever ate it on Thanksgiving or
Yeah.
Christmas. Like you don't get that like just because it's March or whatever.
Yeah, a Hickory Farms cheese ball. Mm-mm.
Yeah. So and like charcuterie board kind of stuff, like for like snacking ahead of the meal because we don't eat at like 5 o'clock. Like we eat at like 2.
Hmm.
Um, and so you breakfast, but you're getting pretty hungry by the time 2 o'clock rolls around. So there's some snacking that happens. Um, But I'll say the one thing I will say in defense of Brussels sprouts is that you can roast them and get them in a different texture if for some reason like you prefer the Brussels sprout roasted texture to like because cabbage is I think a totally different thing. I wouldn't roast cabbage that way,
Yeah.
but I'm like you. I don't do Brussels sprouts. I roast broccoli. I roast some other veggies. I don't mess around with Brussels sprouts. But I heard that part of why people don't like Brussels sprouts is for like I think it's corrected now, but for a long time, Brussels they had over evolved or something. Like we were using like a bad variety of Brussels
Mm.
sprouts and they didn't taste the way that they were intended. And then they like went back to another species and
Yeah.
they taste less bitter than they used
Interesting.
to. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't
I'm
know.
just generally a fan of cabbage. I
Yeah.
love cabbage. Maybe that's very
Do
weird.
you like coleslaw?
I love coleslaw.
Oh my God.
Yes, I love
Oh,
cabbage.
take all my coleslaw.
I
There's
love
nothing that I
coleslaw.
would like less than cabbage and mayonnaise. Like, not
Ah,
for me.
so good on some brisket. Mm-mm.
As like a side or a sauce, like a sauce type thing, I see why like adding coleslaw to something, but like on its own, I don't want it. I don't want anything to do with cabbage drenched in mayonnaise.
Yeah, I could eat any variety of cabbage salads.
Amazing. Okay, moving on. We got some questions to get through, so I'm gonna try to
Yeah,
like move us.
some
We
actual
have,
basketball questions coming up.
yes, from Keanu Reeve Books, aka James Gameboy. I wasn't home in time to catch the Rockets game, so maybe it felt worse in the moment. But isn't it refreshing that a blowout loss is 25 points and not 60? And it took double-digit games to arrive instead of day one?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. I love that. Also, that game was hard to watch, like literally, because that court like was
Oh,
really hurting my eyes. I felt like putting sunglasses on.
yeah.
And I'm not like colorblind and I don't have any like any vision problems that would make that hard to watch. I just felt like that was too much red on my eyes for too long.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, Blazers used to have a red one, so I guess maybe other people felt the same way, but this had like a certain like neonness to it that
Yes.
it wasn't like a matte court where it just kind of like sunk into it. It was like reflected back, like right into everybody's face, and everybody looked red because it was all
Yes.
reflected back on them.
I saw a close up of Drew Holiday and his eyes looked red and I'm like, does he have pink eye or is that the court reflecting off his eyeballs? I think it was the court.
Yeah, I heartily agree with that first statement. That's an excellent take.
Yes. And the follow-up to that is also Kris Murray question? Not really a question. I'm just excited.
I share that. I have been talking about Kris Murray a little bit this season because he's so like dependable and reliable and it feels like he's really contributing and then I go and I look at his like actual stats and I'm like what was I seeing? Because he's not producing as much stats, but he has a presence on the field which I do think kind of stabilizes the play around him which can tend to get chaotic. So even if let's see what are his stats? Not that they're bad. I mean, God, I'm not going to complain about anybody's stats, but I'm just like, God, Kris Murray was so great. He's been doing so good. And like, oh, he's averaging 5.3 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist.
I think the thing that I have enjoyed about Kris Murray is that you can rely on him to stick to the game plan. Like
Hmm.
he plays, I feel like he plays the way that they're supposed to play, even when it feels like the wheels are kind of falling off. And like, some of the other guys that we depend on to make explosive plays are not able to do that. I still see Kris, you know, cutting when he should, shooting when he's supposed to. Like he knows when when his team worked to get him an open look, and he doesn't hesitate, and he puts it up, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it goes in, but like some of the guys on this team this year, you can tell when their confidence is low because I definitely see them pass up the shot that the team just worked to get them, and then do like a weird, like ball fake drive to the hoop into traffic for a contested two. Like Kris Murray, if he's open for that three and his team worked to get him that three, he's gonna put it up. And I appreciate that about him because sometimes you just need somebody to do the exact thing that they're expected to do by the rest of their teammates.
Hmm. And those two hand for safety dunks, of
Yes.
course, I love. Um, he has 7 dunks on the season. It feels like he has more than that, but that's what according to Basketball Reference, he has 7 dunks on the season. Um,
He's had some really fun contested layups
mm,
that are
and
not dunks, but they're at the rim.
yeah, one of the things that I've noticed from this particular team is a little bit of that hesitation on the shots. I think that they are not quite like I think that they're not quite not as confident as they will be
Mhm.
after more reps. I see a little bit not like the Allen Crab. level of hesitation, but like a couple degrees down from that, where it's like especially like with Donovan, he's like, okay, I'm really out here. Do you really want me to take this? Okay. Um, and I mean, Rob is taking threes, which is a choice. Which is great. Like, 'cause he's doing great on it. Like, and they should take the shot when they are open.
Hmm.
But one of the things I'm noticing is just a little bit of hesitation, which I am hoping will get cleaned up because yeah, but they need to make more shots to, I think, be more confident in taking the shots, and not all of them are shooting that great.
It reminds me of like mid last season where you would see these guys get an open look and pass up an open look for three and shoot a contested two instead because the time is expiring. And it for the type of basketball they're playing, it slows the pace of the game down considerably. And you can't just rely on passing around and around until somebody else makes a mistake. Sometimes you need to like really just take that shot that's open to you, that your team worked to get you, even though you're not feeling like the most confident shooter. Um, I remember that game. I can't remember which game it was now. Recently, where like Denny didn't score until the end of the third quarter. He didn't score a field goal until the end of the third quarter, but he had like 15 free throws or something, and he still like stayed
Oh,
engaged
right.
and like and went for his and was going for his shots. And I will say like it was a dark shooting day for him, but he stayed so aggressive. He still made an impact by getting to the line so much.
Hmm.
And I like wish that for some of these guys that are maybe not as confident as they could be, just to like continue shooting because you just never know. Like the law of averages and all of that, they will start going down.
Yeah, and I'm anxious to see what it's going to look like when they have some of the players who are injured worked back into their offense. Because I feel like they're
Mm,
kind of thin right now with a lot of
yeah.
injuries, and they kind of have to they sort of started kind of settling into like running kind of the same thing, and it's not quite as dynamic as it was right at the beginning of the year. And I wonder how much of that is like fatigue because of the pace that they're playing in. And it's just like we just gotta power through this. And I'm excited to see when and how and if it changes, like when Scoot gets back. Like another ball handler. Won't that be a luxury?
Oh my God, I miss Scoot so much. And I've also thought to myself, like multiple times every game is, oh, I want to see Scoot in this offense.
Hmm.
Like I think that this is really good for his style of play and he might really thrive. And oh my God, we need a ball handler.
Yes. And also, thank God we do have Drew Holiday on the team, because what if Drew Holiday wasn't even on the team? I mean,
I
but like
can't even
the guy
imagine.
can't do everything. And, there's just a lot of minutes where it's point guard by committee, which is like not bad. Like they need to be nimble, they need to be able to adapt. But I just really can't wait for Scoot to come back for them to just have more legs and like a whole different option.
Every time Tumani's dribbling around with the ball, I like feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack. I'm like, that's more than three dribbles. Give it to somebody else. If you're not taking that shot, give it to somebody else. Like, I don't really want to see Tumani dribbling. He is lovely and he is so good at so many things, but I don't want to see him as a ball handler, really.
I want sometime in the future, not right now, but I really do want to see Shaden expand that part of his game. But I really want him to like focus on the scoring and the competency level of defense that he's playing right now. But
Yeah.
I think that would be like if he was able to add that, that would be spectacular. That would be like, wow, that's a player. If he could also um run a little offense here. I don't want he doesn't need to be a point guard, but kind of like how Anthony Simons could like run it if he had to. Like, wouldn't that be a dream if Shaden got to that level? That would be awesome.
That would be the dream. So speaking of this, so Keanu Reeves Books has a follow-up um to this original post and he said, "Oh, and all of this was happening with so many of our dudes out. Maintain about 500 record till we get Scoot and Matisse, then Blake comes back for silly season and we get Hansen to run the second unit."
Oh, what a beautiful picture of the future. We like did a mind meld with Keanu right there.
I know. It of course, maybe we're in the Matrix. Um, also, I miss Matisse more than I thought I would. He's like such an elite defender, and he also will shoot the three when he's open, like he's supposed to. And I was realizing like the 3 and D thing is like, it's like it's an archetype of a player, but it's like a very real need for a lot of teams, I think.
Yeah, he was at like 67% on threes when before he went down. But that's such a blow. So yeah, he's not gonna be back. Scoot's gonna be back for a while. And then yes, when Blake Wesley comes back, okay, by the way, sidebar, Blake Wesley, his return, like he just had his surgery and like I'm so in love with him posing with the surgeon and his parents after the surgery. I love it so much. I can't wait for him to come back. And I feel bad that sometimes I forget about him because we just got a little taste before he went down, and I don't want to forget about how much fun and energy he injected into the Hot Wheels, as you like to call him. I love that.
Yes, Hot Wheels.
That's definitely growing me. If we can't have Flappy, I think Hot Wheels is great.
And also, I want to like put us on Blazer Cutie alert. I don't know if a current player can win Blazer Cutie. But Blake Wesley was commenting on a post about Donovan
Mhm.
Clingan, and he like tagged Donovan's dog's account and saying, "Look at your father doing all of these wonderful things," and
Oh
it
my
was the
gosh.
cutest thing.
How much do we love Blake Wesley? I wonder
We
if he
love
has a
Blake
dog.
Wesley. Oh my God, maybe we should get him one. Blake Wesley, do you want to borrow my dog? Because all she does is eat and sleep and poop.
You have a dog for loan for any
Yep.
Blazer.
Anyway, I just saw that and I was like, oh, we are so back with all the dog stuff. Um, okay, I'm gonna move us on to our next question. Uh, October Desert Lover, aka Erica, asked, I know you covered it already, but Tuesday is our first 8 p.m. game. Why NBA? Why? Also looking forward to what categories for this season. Scoot is an early lead for bench celebrator due to his sideline interview and being more into the game than the interview.
All fantastic points, Erica. So the way I am approaching this 8 o'clock game, you would think I'm about ready to run a marathon. Like all last week, I was like, okay, I have to stay up late. I'm gonna have to like stay up late and wake up later so that I can be ready for this 8 o'clock game. I am like so trying to like get myself in the right frame of mind for this 8 o'clock game. It's only an hour later than it's not like it's like a million hours later, but it is. It's so weird. And why did you do it with West Coast teams? Yeah. All the stuff. October Desert Lover will be there with me, I think, on Tuesday. So we will commiserate together, and I will let you know whether or not it actually felt like, because I feel like once we get there, we're not gonna really notice how late it is because we're all gonna be in it together. It's just the anticipation of it that is like taking up way too much brain space of mine.
And you might feel it the next day. Because, it's like a Tuesday 8 p.m. game. This isn't like a Friday 8
Yeah.
p.m. game. It's like early in the week and people have to go to work oftentimes on Wednesday morning.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have not watched the Scoot interview.
Oh, well, we
I
got to find that for you.
I know I need to. I don't know if it was because it was a game I started watching late or if it was a game that was in the arena and I wasn't there. So I want to just be fully transparent about the fact that I've not seen that if it was one that happened during this season, and I will go look for it so I can get caught up on that. But yeah, I would also agree that Scoot is a lead for a celebrator. Just in general, he's such a great hype man.
Honestly, Scoot is who I was thinking of when I was thinking about how we under acknowledge people's celebrations when they're in the game for bench celebrator man of the year. Um, because he is always out there hyping his teammates up. When he's in the game, he's out there flexing with them and slapping them around and screaming and hooting and hollering. Like I'm all about it. And a lot of times he's in the game, so it wouldn't be bench celebrator man of the
Hmm.
year material. But now with that we've opened it up, we can really look at all of those things that Scoot does when he's back and in the game and celebrating his guys, like, and give it the full consideration of the very prestigious What Awards.
You know what would have won in past years if we'd had the celebrator, if it had been celebrator, not bench celebrator? Remember that
Mm.
picture of Trendon jumping up in the air? along with Shaden, after somebody, there's this iconic picture of like Trendon celebrating after when he was on the court with like a really high jump up in the air, that I think it was he was celebrating a Shaden dunk, and it was like it was so good.
Yes. Yes. Some of my favorite photos are like moments that were captured because of like the like dudes celebrating in the background before something even happens, even sometimes. Like
Ah,
when they're already going crazy because they know what's happening. They know it's about to the ball's about to go down or whatever. And yeah, they're already like losing their minds. Okay. I will keep going. Oh, okay. Oh, this one's hard. This question came in under the wire here for from A Thought by Tim. A Thought by Tim asks, if you could make your own weird ranch pizza, any toppings, what would you put on it? Weird but yummy answers only. Whew.
okay, I definitely thought about this a lot.
Oh, good.
I have several.
Okay.
And I took the weirdness. The weirdness factor is definitely in there. So some of them might be like, but I think they could potentially be very yummy.
Okay.
So my first ranch pizza idea for the vegetarians is peanut butter and jelly. So what I'm thinking is a like savory peanut butter spread, kind of as the sauce, maybe lightened up with like a little bit of ricotta cheese or something like that. And then like a nice mellow like Munster cheese. And then like a strawberry balsamic glaze on the top, like when you put it in a bottle and you squirt like the strawberry balsamic glaze all over it. And then the important part is the final touch is crushed Lay's potato chips on the top
Oh,
for a peanut butter and jelly ranch pizza.
that's a, I think I can get down with that.
I still
That's
have to
a,
figure out like what the peanut butter sauce on that, because it does, you don't want to like have it be too thick and overpowering, and you still want to be able to like get that like bite of that strawberry balsamic sauce.
so does it replace the tomato
Yeah, it's not
sauce?
tomato sauce. Instead,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a yeah. I mean, there. I have another one that has a variation on the tomato sauce.
Okay.
So yeah. So what do you think of it? So yeah, let us know what you think about the peanut butter and jelly ranch pizza. I don't. My favorite thing is to put crushed Lay's potato chips in between the layers of my peanut butter and jelly. Are you a potato chip on peanut butter and jelly person?
I'm not, but I mean, I'm a potato chip on other sandwich th person, so I don't know why I wouldn't like it for peanut butter and jelly. But it probably adds a nice salty, oily flavor to it
Hmm. Yes, and crunchy.
and
Yummy.
texture.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the other one, another idea that I had was actually Thanksgiving feast pizza. And like the types of toppings it would have on it would be obviously like shredded. Okay, so this is the one where I was thinking that maybe making like a tomato sauce, but somehow incorporate a little bit of that spicy, tangy cranberry-ness in it. So like think of like a tomato cranberry chutney kind of a base for the Thanksgiving one, and then add shredded turkey, and I think thinly sliced roasted sweet potatoes, and then hot gravy drizzled on the top.
Oh my
I
God.
like the drizzle that they do at Ranch.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the Thanksgiving dinner slice.
Oh man, that sounds like a lot of stuff. Wait, so it was like turkey gravy?
Yeah,
Turkey gravy. Okay.
yeah, on the top. Oh, and Swiss and mozzarella cheese for the cheese.
Mm.
Mild nutty kind of cheese to go with it. I didn't add any stuffing or anything. So that's one. And then I have one more, and it's pretty simple. It's this one's for Shade and Sharp. This is the mac and chorizo sausage cheese, mac and chorizo sausage slice. So what that is is it's just a regular slice of ranch pizza, sausage ranch pizza, but the sausage is mac and chorizo, which is something that my son used to make, which was chorizo sausage, but also in it is macaroni and cheese. And it's
Oh,
so good.
that actually sounds really good.
So mac and chorizo sausage pizza.
Okay. Dang.
I know I really I was really hungry.
Well, okay, I didn't put nearly as much thought into my pizza as you did, but I'll give it a whirl. My ranch pizza uses smoked mozzarella, which I think they sometimes also use themselves. Um, Smoked mozzarella, um, chive, crispy samgyeopsal or pork belly. Like you know how they do like the bacon lardons
Hmm.
at French pizza, but I want that to be like crispy pork belly
Hmm.
instead.
Hmm.
And then I want bibimbap as the sauce, which is like that spicy sweet gochujang sauce from this like that's Korean. This is a Korean pizza.
It sounds really good.
But it's like so samgyeopsal like pork belly can have a little bit of a sweetness with it. And I went back and forth about whether I would prefer ricotta or smoked mozzarella, but like mozzarella, I think is just like you can do more with the flavor of mozzarella. Ricotta would bring that
Mhm.
sweetness and but the texture wouldn't be the same. And I wanted the bibimbap, which is like a red, spicy, sweet, salty sauce, um, to like mix with that smoked mozzarella flavor. And the chive is because like I really like the one, I like the texture that a chive gives, and the other thing about it is that I like how it marries with cheese. I like the flavor that it comes together with cheese to make. So that is
That
my
sounds
pizza.
delicious. I don't
Yeah.
even think that sounds weird. Just straight up
Hon
yummy.
Honestly, I think pork belly is underutilized in like in Western cuisine. We don't like, like in Korea, like everybody likes pork belly. You serve it everywhere. You get a Korean barbecue, whatever. Like there aren't that many dishes here with uh pork belly. We go for bacon and stuff like that instead, but bacon is much saltier and less sweet and a little bit like I don't know. It's just a different flavor. So I want that like lighter sweet flavor of the pork belly on this pizza.
It sounds delicious.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, thank you for that question, a thought by Tim, because we had a lot of fun thinking about it and now we have some pizzas to make.
Or some lobbying we have to do for ranch.
That's right. I do think that some of this, like they've carved themselves out an interesting spot where they could do kind of whatever they want.
Hmm.
Um, we have one more thought. One more thought that was got right under the wire here from Erica. Erica says, one more thought. Not something we'd vote on, but a most dunks award question mark? Or maybe a most creative in-game dunk for us to vote on, all with the greater aim of getting the dunk count on the stats board.
Pretty much I'll do anything to get the dunks on the dunk board. And if yeah, a dunk award would contribute to that. I mean, we just need it on the hustle board. Like nothing gets everybody going like a good dunk. And if we have a spot for that on the hustle board, it's gotta help the game. I was gonna
Yeah.
oh go ahead.
I was gonna say I agree that like more dunks is better, but I also don't think the only thing that matters is the most dunks. Sometimes it's like the dunks like not all dunks are created the same. Some of them absolutely change the whole vibe of the game. Some of them are incredibly acrobatic. Some of them are artful, as we know from Shaden. Like I think there's like also a qualitative aspect to like appreciating dunks, and it's not just about the most. So like I wonder if there was like a way for us to acknowledge a dunker of the year or something. Someone who like just, you know, gave us a great dunk show.
Like a dunk score?
No, no, not a score for an individual dunk, but
I
just
mean, you're
like
getting really close to a dunk score. I
no, but
saw you
like
catch yourself.
across the body of work of someone's dunking for the season. not like an individual dunk. Because the dunk score is like all about like how high and I don't know, like they take into account things where I'm like, that doesn't necessarily make it the best dunk.
Well,
But
yeah. What if I told you Shaden was leading in the dunk score? Then maybe it's a perfectly good
well, then I
measurement.
do like that. I do like that. I'm not gonna lie. But I also I maintain that the dunk score is really stupid.
Yeah. No, the dunk score is so Shaden does currently hold the highest dunk score of like 120.8, which is really high. Behind him the is like 117.8. So it's like a pretty big jump. But the one that they gave him 120 on, I'm sorry, but his toes weren't pointed. I'm like, we're giving 120 for someone who's not pointing their toes. Like, have we lost complete control of what's going on? Like, I think they should like judge them like acrobats. Like, okay, his legs were pretty straight, but there was a little bend to one of his knees that was more bent than the other knee. And then when you get into like looking at all of those fine little adjustments that could be made, then you're like, wait a minute, but he's not paying attention to the game if he's worried about whether or not his legs are parallel. So I'm as you can tell, I'm completely torn between coming up with some measurement for dunks versus just letting them happen and not dwelling on them. Part of it is like I don't want Shaden to do a dunk contest. I don't I can't I don't know why. I feel like dunks should come in the course of the game, and taking time out to like prepare for a dunk contest just like takes away from like the game preparation. And I don't know, I have I need to talk to a therapist about this. I have a lot of thoughts about dunks, and it's part of it too is like all of a sudden like I love the fact that people are like that Tom Haberstroh is now like talking about dunks all the time on the broadcast. But like, let's keep the focus on like what we want out of a dunk. What we want out of a dunk is beauty that describes the beauty of the game, and also momentum built on the energy that that dunk just brought into the arena.
Yeah. I'm actually kind of curious if like so the dunk contest is like it's just going meh over time. Like nobody good wants to do it anymore. A G League guy has won it like 2 or 3 years in a row now. It's not must-see TV. And I'm kind of curious why they don't want to integrate. So because they have the dunk score now, which whether I like it or not, that's a thing. Why don't they just give out the dunk contest in the All-Star game for the best dunk in the All-Star game with the highest dunk score or whatever.
Oh, that would
Like,
be a
you
great
know what I
way.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it does encourage these guys to show us acrobatic dunks that aren't like over a car or whatever, like these things that do not relate to the game of basketball, like at all. Like, I
I
just feel like
love
if,
that idea because, like you said, it might inspire them to do some fun stuff during the All-Star game. I mean, it would get ridiculous, but but like,
yeah.
hey, the we're actually the dunk contest is going to be judged within the All-Star game. Then you also have the big names going for it.
Mhm. And then you don't have to do like crazy like stuff that's like costumes and weird props and bringing out a celebrity and whatever. Like all that stuff doesn't make the dunks better. It
No.
just creates more setup. And
Yes.
when they blow their dunks, you're like, oh, all that preparation for nothing. So like just give it to the guy who gets the highest dunk score in the actual All-Star game. And you know what? Like maybe the game will be better for it because we'll all watch and like be looking for those dunks and be like, what was the dunk score? I don't care, but I also kind of care because now you get an award for it. Like, I actually was like really surprised that when they brought in the dunk score that it didn't like mean anything. I'm like, is
Mhm.
this how you're gonna like invite the people to the dunk contest? No. Do you get like best dunk at the end of the year for having the highest score? No. Why do we have scores for something when you're not competing for anything?
I wonder if it is branded like the
Oh,
Sprite dunk, the Sprite dunk score or something
Carmack's
like
quote of
that.
the game.
That's coming. That they're going to somehow figure out how to monetize it.
Right. the Sprite coaches challenge.
Yeah,
The
I loved your Sprite. What did you call it when Tiago
the
lost
the,
a
the,
thing?
sp- the Sprite coaches challenge of regret.
Yeah. Didn't he
Because it
do
was like later he really wanted he really wanted a coach's challenge, but it was already gone. He'd already used it. And I was
didn't
like,
he
that's
do
a
one like in the first minute of the game in that Houston game?
yes.
It's like, what do
And
you, Tiago?
what is that?
Tiago, we have high expectations for you. And one of them is that you should figure out how to use the coach's challenge. And if just like what like is it like because our former coach, like they kind of hit their stride eventually with like Nate being like it always looked to me like Nate was the one who called whether or not there should be a challenge. So like
Mm.
the head coach doesn't have to worry about it. The head coach just listens to their assistant coaches who says, "Now we need to do this." And then they can ultimately say no, but like they're guided by somebody else. So like where did this one that came within like moments of the game starting, where did that come from? And sometimes I like them like I remember sometimes when did they have coaches challenge when Myers Leonard was on the team? No, Zach Collins. That's
No.
who it was. It was Zach Collins, where Zach Collins was having a lot of trouble fouling, and I felt like sometimes when Stotts would do a coaches challenge, it was kind of like his way of like saying, "Hey, I believe like you did the right thing there,"
Yeah.
to Zach Collins, and so like I could see that being sort of a thing to do with like Zach Donovan Clingan or maybe Young Hansen when he gets in the game, but like otherwise like we don't ask for much, Tiago. The bar was
Yeah.
pretty low.
And if you're gonna call in that early, it better be egregious and you better win.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna lose your coach's challenge in the first half of the game, you better be rock solid that it's a good challenge because you might really be missing that challenge when it comes down to like a close game and you want to win.
Yeah. And we should all be mad at the refs after it. Like if you make a coach's challenge that early and you lose it, it should be because like we must not understand the rules because that was so bad.
Hmm.
But not like because it was like, oh, maybe it could have been I don't know. It was weird. So one strike, but I'm confident that Tiago will make no other errors ever in the entire course of the rest of his run as the Trailblazers head coach. That was just an anomaly.
Yeah. He also has I'll say I have a lot of grace for him because he didn't know he was going to be the head coach. Like he walked in, this is his first season with this team. He doesn't know, like this isn't his staff. He didn't pick them. He was picked to be on somebody else's staff and now he's the guy. And, there maybe needs to be some ironing out of stuff, but
Yes.
gosh, you would really think that in like the highest level of no's, it should be don't challenge something in the first 2 minutes of a game.
I like that grace that you're extending because, yeah, he probably doesn't have a what are we doing? He didn't have a what are we going to do in a challenge situation? Maybe they haven't ironed that out. And maybe now that they've decided and saw what happened, maybe now they do.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely saw Chauncey Billups on a journey to learning how to use the coaches challenge. And that took years. So, I can be patient with Tiago, but please no more like first quarter, like whatever challenges that aren't going to determine the outcome in this game. We're still figuring out like how this crew is going to be calling this game for us to feel so confident like that we're challenging is wild.
Yeah. I wanted to give a quick dunk update to let folks
Oh,
know where the Blazers are in terms of the rest of the league. They are tied with Washington for 64 total dunks. Let me really quick go over to a different page. Um, so that's 64 total dunks. They've both played the same amount of games, but I wanted to know what so I get my so per game when I tweet out at the end of the game or when I skeet that is the worst word ever. When I put on Blue Sky the total dunks for the game, I get those from the NBA game books, which are created immediately after the game. And so I just like do it like search for the word dunk and then I count the ones that Blazers had. On Basketball Reference, they keep a running total of how many dunks teams have that's under the shooting stats. So,
Okay.
and then I go and I look at that and I go, okay, so the Blazers have 64. But the thing about that display on Basketball Reference that is not great is its total dunks when some teams have played 11 games and some teams have played 14. So if you just look at it in terms of total dunks compared to the rest of the NBA, Portland is number 13 with 64. But if I made a fancy spreadsheet with a formula, which I'm not a formula spreadsheet maker, but I learned how to do one to transfer that information into dunks per game. So
Hmm.
in dunks per game, the Blazers are actually 10th with 5.3 dunks per game. The leaders are Detroit at 7.9, almost 8 dunks per game. Can you imagine watching 8 dunks a game? How exciting that would be.
It would be very exciting.
So that's what the
But I mean,
Blazers are aiming for.
I'm
Right now
not
they're at
complaining.
5.3.
I'm not complaining about 5.3 because there's definitely been seasons out there where it's been way less.
Yeah. Yes, we are definitely in an improvement over other seasons. But that's the gap that if they were going to be the best in the league at dunking, which I'm not sure how likely that is, but that's the gap that they would have to close, is they would have to get up to 8 dunks a game.
Yep.
Stay healthy,
Yep.
Robert Williams.
Yes, please. We need your dunks.
Our leading dunkers are Shaden and Donovan.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's pretty well spread out. There's quite a few guys who have dunks, so that's things are looking up.
Yeah, we have more guys dunking this more variety of guys dunking on this team than some past teams. There's
And
definitely been some teams where nobody's dunking.
and way more alley oops. And
Yes.
yeah, even with the misses, they still have more alley oops than they have had in the past. And then when Scoot comes back, I think we're gonna have even more.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Alley-oops, like my like heart goes up into my throat, and then sometimes it comes out when I scream because we made it, and sometimes it goes right back down and sits in my stomach because we missed.
Uh, but October Desert Lover, we need to try everything to get the dunks added to the hustle board for sure. Keep coming up with the
Yes.
ideas.
Yes. We love a good dunk. Okay, that is it for our questions today. Um, so I think, do you have anything else that we missed that you want to
No, I think let's go
chit chat
ahead and
about?
wrap it up because we got it's Sunday and we got a game coming up in a couple of hours against Dallas. I'll just say that with the Houston blowout, which was so much better than a 60-point blowout, 25 blowout was, almost
Yes.
respectable comparatively. What
Yes.
I'm so interested to see how they bounce back from this because they actually had a players only meeting,
Mm-hmm.
which is very cool. I love that they did that because I'm early in the season. It wasn't one of those ones where they're like probably all yelling at each other. It was probably more of a like, hey, let's get the temperature of like what's going on here. And before, I don't know. There was something in about like, that made me think, oh, is something not going well? I don't know. I couldn't really tell, but the best part of it is that they are doing it now early. So I really
Mm-hmm.
want to see how they bounce back from that. I especially want to see how Donovan Clingan bounces back from it because Donovan Clingan, he hates to lose. He looks miserable when they're losing. He can't stand it. Especially, I think he takes every mistake that he makes personally. And what I've seen from him is that he really learns from his mistakes and he's eager to get back and correct them as fast as he can. So I'm really interested to see how he especially bounces back from this game. Now that they're like a team that could win at any time and have that expectations of a team that could win, uh, how do they react? Very curious to see. I hope
Yeah,
it's
it
well,
will.
but it's the last game of a 5 game road trip, so they might be tired.
I was gonna say it will be interesting to see, but I'm also not like banking on them showing up as a completely different team because road trips really take their toll on guys. And I think like one, they're a little banged up. Two, it's their first like kind of longish road trip of the season. And so I'm not expecting miracles here, but I would love to not see a blowout. Dallas is also, I don't think, as good
No.
as Houston. So
No.
I was, oh my God, in that Houston game, I was watching it and I was like, Kevin Durant will never let us know peace. Never, ever while he's in this league. He's going to be in this league forever and he's always going to torture us. That's just,
Yeah. Yeah. Houston was really fun team to watch. I mean, if our team started playing like that, I mean, that would be so fantastic.
yeah, it's really, they're really, I mean, I hate to like talk about other teams as like, oh, they're fun to watch, but like they're fun to watch.
Especially
And
Houston.
yeah, they're fun to watch. And they also
Mhm.
like play a style of basketball that's fun and they have good like athletic guys where just anything could happen. And I know that they
Mhm.
traded Jalen Green in order to make that like Kevin Durant trade work, but like Kevin Durant is like I think that Kevin Durant is a very aesthetically pleasing basketball player to watch because he's just as much as he tortures my team, he's incredibly good. He's incredibly smart. He's like really clever. He makes
Mhm.
these incredible passes that I don't see, and he's kind of graceful, weirdly,
Mhm.
as a player. Points his toes sometimes, Tara.
Yeah.
And he's
Well,
so long.
yeah. Well, and I think Alpern Şengün is somebody that is really interesting to watch and think about his development and where he started and how he got there, and to remember that he did spend at least a year with Thiago Splitter. And just I think the design of their team is something that our team could also mirror, if or mimic,
Yeah.
all that length, all that size.
He was an assistant for the Rockets for just one season, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he went to Paris to become a head coach, and then
Yeah.
now he's here.
Yeah.
Um,
Sean
yeah.
Hyken wrote a piece about Şengün and Splitter and their relationship that grew out of their being there for a year together in Houston.
Yeah, and I read it and I remember they were like Shingun talks about him like that's his brother, like
Mhm.
that he was a really important part of his development here. Um, and I'm also like with our international flavor, like we're like the same as Houston in some ways, but completely different in other ways because they do have some international players, but like, you know, I think it's just Shingun and like what's his face? Whose name I can't think of at this moment.
Mhm.
Did you see Aaron Holiday? So I tried to see whether Aaron Holiday and Drew interacted after that game, but I was too depressed that I wasn't very good at looking, but I was just curious if you saw anything.
No, because I switched over to the Duck game at halftime.
Okay.
I needed to see
Okay.
a win. I needed a win that night.
Okay. Okay,
I'll
that's fair.
admit.
Anyway, Aaron Holiday like took out Jeremy on like like quite badly on a 3-point attempt, and I was like, Drew, you better talk to your brother, man.
Well,
He's
and then
out.
Jeremy getting ejected in that Houston game.
I know. First career ejection for Jeremy because
I
of
I
I don't
couldn't.
even know.
Yeah, I couldn't see in my TV is not very big, and I was on the other side of the room, and when they were playing the replay, I couldn't find Jeremy in the pile.
Oh no, so that wasn't Houston actually. That
Oh,
was
that was
the
one before.
Pelicans, yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Because he got in it with Missy, right?
Yes, Eves Missy. That's right. Yes.
Missy?
I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah,
Okay.
that was exciting, but also odd. And
Yeah.
kind of a waste of an ejection on a team that like Blazers probably coulda shoulda handled a little bit more effectively than they did. But again, they were down another player, so can't get that mad. And the fact that they pulled it out is we'll take that.
Also, quite frankly, like when I was like looking at like the New Orleans team, I was like, you're so lucky you got Jeremy ejected because he's been on fire this season. And like that, I feel like his absence was really felt and why it was hard for us to pull away because sometimes he's really able to get those buckets when we really need them.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, let's go to takes
Yeah.
and wrap it up.
Tara, it's November 16th, 12:50 p.m. What's your take?
Okay, well, my take is more I need people to know that the orca pods are gathering in the San Juan area in the Salish Sea. All of the orcas are gathering. There's like four pods up there, and there have been several days over the past couple of weeks where there have been 74 whales all together up there. Um,
Whoa.
gathering, and I'm very excited because I think that they're like planning to plot for how to like overthrow billionaires in their yachts. So I just want everybody to be aware of this, that it is going on, that the orcas are going to be doing their part. So we can do our part, the orcas will do their part, and it's very exciting. And it's like the pictures are so amazing because there's like literally like 75 or 74 of them, like all the members of all the pods. It's probably in addition to plotting to overthrow billionaires, and billionaires, if you're listening, um, but it's partly that, and also there's like probably good feeding and also needing to maybe breed with other groups. But it's super cool, super exciting. I have not been witness to it because when I go to the San Juans, I go to a different part, and so this is mostly taking place like outside of like Tacoma, Port Townsend, in those areas. But it's so cool that they're all gathering. So anyway,
That's
I just
so
wanted to share that
awesome.
because it's so cool.
So when like the orcas heard Eat the Rich, they were like, literally.
Yeah, they're like gonna attack the yachts and bring them down.
All right. That's the take.
Yep. Watch the
I have
orcas.
I have a non-basketball take. And this is I guess weirdly sort of on brand with Eat the Rich. So I saw a thing recently, like on Instagram or something, where they were like, "Oh, Jeff Bezos really wants Sydney Sweeney to be the next Amazon Bond girl." And like, because Amazon now has the Bond franchise because I think they bought MGM or what, I don't know exactly how it worked out. I
Ugh.
only know is that Amazon is now in charge of the Bond franchise, and they've like muscled out the Broccoli family that's been the shepherd of that franchise for a very long time. Anyway, all that aside, I posted about this. Amazon Bond girl sounds like pejorative to me. Like how we talk about Timu whatever.
Yes.
I think
Amazon
Amazon
Bond.
Bond girl sounds like somebody who on some days looks like they could be a Bond girl, and some days they're completely counterfeit. Because that's exactly what it's like to buy stuff from Amazon. It's like they buy all their inventory from whoever, some of it's counterfeit. Even if you pay for something that's real, it all gets thrown in the same bin, and you might get something that isn't actually genuine, and you overpaid for it. So, what I'm saying is, I think I need to start using Amazon as a
Yeah.
pejorative add-on to describing something because that's how I feel when I hear that term. If I hear, oh, that's a Bond girl and that's an Amazon Bond girl, those are not the same thing.
No, I love it. That can be our secret vernacular that we start to spread throughout.
And yeah, so an Amazon thing is something that's sometimes great and sometimes fake.
And interesting that they're doing it in the Puget Sound around the San Juan area, where Seattle, close to Seattle and the Amazon headquarters, the orcas and are somehow in tune with it. Somehow they're related. You're right.
Somehow, you're right. The Amazon Bond girl thing and the orcas, they're
Yes.
cooking something.
They are. They're cooking something up, and we're going to be ready to help whatever they need. We're there to help out.
Yes. I like how this is our secret vernacular that we just said into microphones that we're going to post all over the internet.
We're in so much trouble. But as long as the Blazer players are listening and know what awards, whoever else is listening, billionaires, whoever else, do with it what you will. But as long as the Blazers are listening, remember if there's any proof ever anywhere that the Blazers are listening and any players are aware of the awards, that I will get a award tattoo at the end of the season.
Oh, shoot.
And
This is
and
a
Rose is gonna get a back tattoo of Shaden Bunting.
a whole back tattoo. I feel like maybe I can get it on my side or something because like I'm just trying to think about the fact that I'm like I can't sit there for hours and hours and hours because it would be too painful and I'm a baby. But like parts of my body because of my surgery are kind of are numb.
Oh,
I don't have feeling there anymore because they cut through my nerves and they haven't grown back yet. So maybe it's a good opportunity to get like a big thing on my left side where I
yeah.
can't feel stuff.
Of Rob Williams with catching a lob. Either, yeah,
Yes,
either the Shaden back tattoo or the Rob Williams catching a lob sleeve.
on the side.
Yeah, or side. Okay.
Yeah, totally. Because I don't think I have any feeling from like my armpit down to like close to like, I don't know, the bottom of my rib cage or something.
All right. Well, we've given our takes. We talked about the What Awards. I think that just about does it for the day. Anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Game's at 4:30 tonight, and by tonight I mean this afternoon. So set your calendars because it's an early one.
And good luck to everybody's trying to stay awake for the 8 o'clock game on Tuesday. You can find that We Have a Take podcast at We Have a Take on Blue Sky, and you can find it wherever you get your podcast. You can find me at TCB Biggs on Blue Sky, and you can find Rose at Rose L. Harding on Blue Sky. Thank you to everyone who listens. What up, takers? We so appreciate you, especially when you stick all the way to the end. It's amazing. Thank you so much, and go Blazers.